there guys, thanks for joining us today. What is the Atomic Online Designer? It is a browser-based design platform that you are able to use once you've placed an order with us. You'll be able to drag, drop, add your track listing, move things around, put whatever colors you like, and everything is optimized to our templates. That means when you're all done setting up your design in your browser, all you got to do is hit all done, send a print, and we'll take care of the rest from there. The great thing about this is you don't got to worry about things like RGB color spaces or CMYK or how to convert things. It's all done and optimized for you, so you can worry about what you do best, your music. All right, so let's make the graphics as easy as possible for you guys. So what we have here is our Digipack Lite 4-panel. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of take you around what we're looking at here, get you guys familiar with the designer. So at the top right here, we've got our video tutorial, simple tutorial on how to use the designer. That's actually this, so a little inception-y there. You'll find me talking to you right now through this link. Below that, we'll find frequently asked questions where we kind of dig apart some of the questions that we get a lot for this and that we've found as we've developed this. Go there if you have any specific questions. And of course, we're here to answer too. Give us a poke, give us a call, and we'll be here for you. Over here, we've got the key, and this kind of details what the bleed lines, basically all these template lines here that you're seeing right here. Bleed, cut, fold, and safety lines. That indicates to you, just to give you a better idea so that you know where you can safely put your text and images. Over here on our left, we have our tabs. And so whenever you place your order, the cool thing is that what you add to cart is what's going to populate here. So you don't have to search. There's no concern about maybe, oh, I grabbed the wrong package style. No, it's all done for you. We've packaged it. We've put a bow on it. Now all you got to do is make sure that you just add one to each. So if you ordered the Digipack Lite with 4 panels, well, that comes with a disc, doesn't it? So you get the template for the Digipack Lite 4-panel as well as the template for the ODP, which is what we would call our on-disc print. And so the cool thing is once you've got them all designed how you like it, here's that button I told you about, all done, send to print. I'm not going to push that now. We're not just there. Let's head back to our Digipack Lite 4-panel. Now when we look here to our left, these are the options that are going to allow us to lay this out, set the photos how we like it. Right here, we've got our template. And so what you're going to be able to do is load in the images that you want, the text that you want, using these buttons here. Here we've got a placeholder for the barcode. And as you can see, you can click on it. You can only do 3 things with it. You can move it up, you can rotate it, and you can erase it. The reason for this is basically there are certain ways that we need to have the barcode to ensure that they're readable and legible by all scanners. Therefore, we have the minimum dimensions placed here. And so if you've indicated when you placed an order that you have a barcode, we assign that, or you place your UPC and you put it in the comments when you placed your order. If you don't have a barcode, you can erase it. Don't worry about it. Once we get it, if we see that there's still a barcode on there and you didn't order a barcode, we'll remove it or we'll reach out and kind of double check. But so don't worry about the barcode. We'll leave it there just for this demonstration here. Now, if we go over to the right, we've got this panel here. This arrow controls that. And so it kind of flies in, flies out. This indicates the pages. And so we've got 2 pages for the Digipack Lite 4-panel. And that's because the way that we've laid this out is we've got our outside panels, our front cover, back panel, that's our outside. And if we click here, we've got our inside panels. So now we see the inside right, inside left. So if we go back to our front panel, we can also see that down here we can navigate to our separate pages. but you'll never be able to access the ODP from this area. You'll have to click on the tab to change. Okay, let's get started. I'm ready to design. So the very first thing that I want to do is let's add a background. Now the thing with the background is you can either select color or a photo, and that's going to basically cover the entirety of the artboard. It's going to fill up completely. You see that? And now you'll notice that there's a white up here and there's a little lowered opacity white right here. And these are just visual cues. These are indicators for you guys to know that this section between this green and this dotted line, this is our bleed area. So whenever this gets sent to our printer, this white is totally removed. It only helps you so you know where the boundary you would like to set your image. You want to make sure that the images that you place extend all the way to the bleed, even though visually we see we want to stop at the cut line here. And that's not the case. We want to extend all the way to the bleed. There is always some mechanical shifting that goes on during the printing process. And so we want to allow any flexibility to these dimensions. And so this is basically our safety. And this line is actually the safety. This is actually called the safety line right here. This is the safety for your text. So whenever you're adding text, we just don't want to go beyond these lines and we're good to go. Okay, now let's add some images. So I added a background and that expands both of these panels. However, I actually want to add an image right here. There's a couple ways I can do that. I can click on this image right here, and any image that I select is going to mask itself within this area that I've designated here, which is the front panel and the spine. Now, when we go to add an image by clicking on this icon here, this area changes, and we've got three options here. We can upload our own images on our computers. We can, or we can grab royalty-free, high-resolution stock photos from these two providers. We've got Unsplash and we've got Pexels. It doesn't really matter which you choose. The only difference is, of course, they have different images on their site. So I selected Photos by Unsplash. Here's the great thing. There are thousands of images from this website, and you can always rest assured that whatever you place, whatever image you get from here is going to be great quality. It's going to print well with no pixelation, and so it's just going to look really professional. So let's do, I always go for the beach sunset. I can't help it. I've got a love for the beach at sunset, apparently. So let's just kind of scroll here so you can see the different images I got. See that? Page 1 of 400. So I can just keep browsing to my heart's content. I really like the way that these trees kind of open up the sky and frame it. I think that would look really good for a cover. So I'm going to place that. Now, what it's done is, because it's set up, it's got this parameter, so it's masked to the front cover. Technically, these lines right here, these tiny ones, show that there is an image still behind here, and we can see it by moving it up a little bit to the side. Not really, because it's gone to its maximum width, but we can see that the rest of the image is there. It's just masked, and it's fitting within the template how we like it. So I'm going to move it around. I like this. I think it adds some nice framing. Yeah, I like that. That's good framing. And I'm going to go ahead and set that. It's deselected, so it's good. Let's add another photo. Let's try Pexels this time. And let's do beach at night. So now the sun has set. And let's get these guys celebrating here by the bonfire. Because that just seems like a great night. A nice transition from day into night. Okay, we're going to go back and hit set. Now let's head on over to the inside and let's fill out the images here. Now, the inside right panel is going to be where the disk tray is. So know that the tray will be glued to this area here. It is clear and plastic. You can see the image through it. We don't recommend putting a ton of text on it. Some people like to put like 1 or 2 words here, fairly large. A lot of people like to put thank yous and whatnot on the inside left. Mostly we recommend inside right, vibrant photo, not too much words. So I would like to, you know what? I think for the background, I want to have one image that expands across both panels. I think it's going to work pretty well, especially because of the disk tray. So let's do that. There you go. Here's a perfect one for... Yes, I love it. Something I'm considering though, and I think I'll apply it first. No, that's perfect. Okay, wonderful. So now we see we've got it both here. I do have these here, but they're inconsequential. I'm not going to use them now because it's going to cover over this image that I've set to the background. And that's how backgrounds versus images work. If I wanted to place another image on top of this guy here, I wouldn't want to select these options, but I could go to Images, and I could select any of them. This here is Icon Finder. Icon Finder has a bunch of vectors and other icon-y type things. And they're very good, especially if they're like PNG. If I untick vectors only, I'll get an assortment of PNGs. And those typically come with transparent backgrounds. And so I'm just going to play around with one. I'm going to get one that I don't think has a background. And there we go. This is a great example. We can see here, I can move the size down, I can move the size up, and regardless of the bounding box, we still see the background behind it. That's because it has a transparent background. I use the handles to pull and expand. These are the options available to me once I have the image here. We can crop it. We can clone it, which will make a duplicate. We can flip it, horizontal, vertical, or we can trash it. I'm going to trash it. It doesn't really go too good with what we've got here, but now you know how to do it, right? Okay, let's go back to the front. Okay, we need a title. Okay, let's bring this guy over here. Okay, now when we have text, we have these quick little edit options we have up here, so we can align it to left, center, right. We can make it bold. Of course, this font doesn't support it. Underline, italicize, all caps, drop shadow, duplicate, erase. I'm going to align it right and put it right up to the safety line. See how I've got it touching now? I don't want it to go all the way to the green line because that can risk it getting cut off in production. So that's why we want to leave all of our text on the inside of these pink dotted lines. Okay, I actually like the white, but if we go over here, we can actually select any color that we like. I think the white looks really good there. I'm going to leave it. I don't like that font though. Here's a great thing, is we have access to all of the Google fonts directly in here. There we go. So we've got access to all of the fonts in here. And we could even add our own font if we want to. I don't. I love a lot of these fonts, and I just got to find one I think goes good with this. I want something a little funky. I like this guy. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Pretty fun. And we've got other options here. Font size. We can increase it, decrease it. I think that's good where it was. We can change the alignment on it by selecting these guys. I think is already pretty good. We can change the transparency. Right now it's completely white. If we lower it, we can start to see some of that sunset behind it until it's completely gone at 0%. So I want to keep it 100%. We can increase the letter spacing between. I don't want to, so we'll leave it there like that. We can also adjust the height. So if there were multiple lines, and I'll show you that right quick. By adjusting the line height, we can bring it real close together or really far apart. For this particular one, not gonna worry about it, but now we know. And I'm gonna add just a teeny tiny little drop shadow. And that's by this guy right here. Now, if I were to click on this gear icon, this will actually open up more options that we can use for the drop shadow. So right now, typically you see drop shadow and it's black. Sometimes if I want to make it pop, I'll make it a different color. Orange works pretty good with the sunset feeling. Got the direction, which way do you want it coming from? How blurry do you want it? You know, how transparent or not do you want it? Okay. Next, we typically see track listing on the back. I always forget. It's good to click away and then click again and it'll grab it. Okay, so I'm going to bring, actually, here's what I'm going to do for this. I'm going to delete that actually. And I want to take the title, I'm going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to drag it up here. Let's see, I've got on the front cover aligned to the right. So on this one, I'm going to align it to the left. And I did notice I actually messed it up a little bit. There we go. Good. Okay. So we're just flipping it around on this side. And now I want to add my track listing. All right, so here is our track listing. I'm going to go ahead and center this within the zone. I'm just going to do it up visually here. And let's pick another font. Now, I typically like to do one main kind of like show off font, something that's a little more fancy. We use those for like titles, and then for, you know, areas where we have a lot more text, such as the track listing, I like to use a font that's a little bit more legible, something that you can read as a block, and it's not too difficult to read that way. That's pretty bold. I don't really like how it looks with the other one. This is pretty basic. I like this. Okay, so we're going to use Arvo. And you know what? Let's align this left. I want to go here and I want to reduce the font size. That's good. 20. Yeah, I like that. Bring it back. I want it to align just under the U. Okay, and there's that guy. Perfect. We're going to go to our inside. Let's add some more text. As I mentioned before, we get a lot of thank yous on this side. Some people like to use it also for credits, listing all the musicians and other notes like that. You can put as much info as you can fit, or you can leave it blank and you just want to have a nice photo there. Whatever you like to do, you know, go for it. The only recommendation that I would give to you as far as cramming text into any panel is not wanting to cram as much text as you can fit in, because you do also want to maintain readability for your users. You want to make sure that any font size no lower than 8 point. This is the lowest that you want to go. I typically do 8 to 12, try to hover around the 10. That way, it doesn't matter if you have reading glasses or not, you can still read it. So just keep that in mind when you're making these. Now, I don't like how the black looks on there. Let's change that color. Oh, I want to change all of you. It's being sassy. Hold on. Oh, I see what it wants. I was confusing it. All right, we're starting back. Okay, select it all. There we go. Let's try orange, green, blue, maybe a darker blue, teal blue. I like that, I think. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. And we'll make it bigger, bump it up. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so I'm happy with our inside. I'm happy with our front. I see that the placeholder is here. You know what? I don't want to put it here. I think I want to have my barcode on this side on the horizon line. Would I do that in real life? Heck no, but I got to move it for you guys, right? Because this is a demo. So we can move the placeholder barcode. Then I'm going to move it here, and I'm going to move it this way too. Takes up less space. Bam. Now I'm gonna bring these guys over here. There we go. Let's bring this guy down. Look at that. Okay. So now, before I submit anything, I'm gonna go over it and just make sure I have all the words that I want, all the names are spelled correctly, the numbers are right, and really make sure that my images go all the way to the bleed. None of my text is going over these pink dotted lines. Confirmed. Yeah, everything is in where it needs to be. Oh, see, I'm glad I double checked. Finally, what we want to do, last thing, let's get this spine in there. I don't even need to create a new text box because I can just do this. Bam. Clone it. I'm going to drag it up. And I'm going to rotate it that way. And now that's clearly is not going to fit the spine. So let's see if it'll fit a 14. Ooh, a 14 will fit. I like it. gonna center it just because it's easier that way. And we get all these grid lines, so that helps. Perfect. And I see I accidentally grabbed the other one, so I'm gonna bring that over. Okay, you guys, I think we're sitting pretty here. So I'm gonna go ahead and deselect. Marvelous. Now, what if I want to bring something over to my ODP? Well, let's try that. So I'm going to copy this guy. Let's go to ODP. Let's add a header. So it won't let me copy and paste between tabs, but that's okay because I can come here and I'm gonna grab that font I liked. There we go. I'm gonna bring it down here to kind of sort of match what we got going on our DigiLite. Now this time I'm just going to set it to background. Let's do beach at sunset. And instead of using the one I have on my cover, what I want to do actually is get the one on the inside. And now I'm going to move it all the way over. If it'll, oh, I got to apply it first. Reposition, scoot it over. And here's the important thing. Once you got it where you wanted, apply. Now it'll stay. I'm going to go back to the text. Make this guy a bit bigger. Let's do 56. White. Right there where it's touching, safety, perfect. Little drop shadow, just a little teeny tiny one. Let's go back in the options. We want that orange. Yes, looks good. I like it, I like it. I'm happy. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, unclick to set. Looking good. So I've got my ODP, my on-disc print right here. And my Digipack light right here. Reviewing again one more time. Yep, we're good. Now, at this point, we're good to go. All done. Send to print. Now we just hang tight as our proofs are loading. There they are. Wonderful. Okay, so now is very important. We reviewed everything in the designer. Now, before we send it off to the print, we just want to make sure everything looks good. So you can click it again and it'll expand it, open it up for us. Keep in mind that these lines are not going to show up on your print. These are just for you, the visual indicators for you guys. Once we get it, these lines are not here. So don't worry about those getting printed. I like how that looks. Okay, I like how that looks. And I like how that looks. Okay. So then what you'll do, let's do okay. Enter your name and your email address. By approving, I certify that I've checked all graphic elements, copy, names, and all spelling, and it is as correct as shown. I give approval and permission to Atomic Disc to produce my order with the graphics shown as is represented here with no revisions. By clicking here, yes, I have carefully proofread all copy and examined all parts of my designs and approved the graphics to be printed as shown. Now, just a reminder, the template lines are not going to be printed, and neither is the barcode placeholder. If you have a barcode and you've indicated that in your order, we will replace that after you hit submit. If you don't have one, we'll remove it. And so with that being said, we hit submit. Submission successful. Thank you. We have received your submission. From here, it will be added to our production queue on the following business day, and it follows the production schedule, whether it's duplicated or replicated, and we go from there. Once your design has been printed and assembled and packed and ready to go, you'll receive a tracking notification email, and it'll have all your shipping details. Whatever you specified at checkout, that's what we'll do. And so once it's sent off, you'll get that email with your tracking number. If you guys have any questions, give us a call, send us an email. We're super happy to help, and hope this was helpful for you guys. Y'all have a great day.